All right, and so yes, the chat room is already starting to buzz, and people are starting to roll in. Welcome, everyone. My name is Candace Craw-Goldman. Welcome to the First Annual Worldwide Regression Day. And people are starting to roll in. No, I still can't quite get that to not do that on my computer. Forgive me. I literally clicked it off and it clicks itself back on. I don't know why it does that. Welcome again, or already, to the First Annual Worldwide Regression Event Day. And I'm here today with Allison Coe. My name is Candace Craw-Goldman. We are celebrating Dolores Cannon's birthday. I find it kind of interesting, Allison, that her birthday was on April 15th and you used to do the taxes, right?
That's our, don't bring that up. It's too soon, too soon.
As the accountant. Allison and I were talking about Dolores before the show got started, and I was showing Allison this little memorial flyer that probably most of you out there have never had an opportunity to see. But this is her famous picture. It's this one. It's really her only professional photo, I believe, that she had taken at all. Celebrating an extraordinary life in loving memory of Dolores Cannon. She was actually born April 15th, 1931 in St. Louis, Missouri, and she passed away October 18th, 2014. She was only 83, and it seems like it can't have been so many years since she's been gone. Allison, you were telling a story about Dolores, though, because I said, what's your favorite Dolores story to Allison when we were getting started and warmed up this morning, and why don't you share that with everyone?
Yeah, I was just explaining to Candace my only, my true and biggest Dolores story is how she showed up in my life, which was, she kept popping up on my YouTube feed while I was doing accounting, and I wanted like exciting information. I didn't want to be put asleep because I'm supposed to be working here. And it was ageism at its finest, you know. I thought she would be boring. What did I know? Oh my God. Yeah, she was, ended up being the most exciting person ever. And I had already been getting downloads about the two Earths, a knowing that popped in while YouTube was trying to get me to listen to Dolores Cannon, and I ignored her for 4 months. So anyway, by the time I finally did listen to her, within 5 minutes, she mentioned the two Earths, and it started me on a whole path, which led me here today. So Dolores completely changed my life, completely. So I am forever grateful to you, Dolores, and thank you for coming in to our session today. I'm sure she'll be here guiding us. I'm not very good at seeing things, but man, I know she's going to be here. I know she is, all day long with all the participants, and you know, all of the people who are going under, and all of the people who are guiding them.
Super. I'm just sure she will as well. I thought I might read to you what's on the back here, everybody. It's actually a quote out of one of her books, Between Death and Life. And the quote is, "When the time comes, the journey toward the brilliant white light that marks the barrier between this world and the next will not hold as much fear as it once would have. For in my study of death, I have found the celebration of life." And Dolores was just such a hoot. She was so much fun to be with. And people are still discovering her. That's what I love so much. People are still just now discovering her, and she's kind of coming to life for them through videos, through books, through dreams, through meditations, and through sessions. And you know what? It wouldn't be surprising to me at all if she popped into one of your sessions out there during this group regression event. So pay attention.
Yeah, you guys will have to tell us what you experience. Not right after the session, because we have to go on our own journeys back to the real world. But if we post this video up on a channel, please put in, if you're so inclined, please add into the comment sections what you experienced during this journey today. I think that would be really helpful for people, really validating.
Yeah, I think it really would as well. And so many of you have signed up to be here today. Almost 500 people had signed up today. Just amazing how exciting it is to have the idea that you would lead us. I'm looking forward to it myself, because I'm going to participate just like everyone else out there when Allison leads us in this group regression. I'm going to close my eyes and see what I experience as well. So I'm looking very much forward to that. But before we get started, we want to talk a little bit about what a group regression is and what it is not. Allison?
Yeah, actually, so it's not QHHT. This is not a QHHT session. In QHHT, we go through a life, we travel through a life, and we get to the higher self, and we start asking the questions that the client brings. This is not that. This forum doesn't allow for individual questions. That's not what this is. This is just the journey to a life, whatever life that your higher self decides to show you. Even, and this is true in QHHT sessions as well, even if they decide to show you the past in this life, pay attention. That's important. It's important for you to revisit something that they're showing you. So that's what we're doing today. We're just going on a light journey into a time and a place that they decide to take us. And pay attention, like let your imagination just fill in what's going on. I think Einstein had a wonderful quote about imagination and how important it was. It was like the seed of the future. That was not the quote. That was a summary of the quote. Imagination is so important, and at the same token, don't think you're just imagining this all, because certainly most of the time it's not self-serving enough, like stuff that you wouldn't make up. But your imagination is key to this, actually.
Yes, we've been taught to discount our imagination and to the discredit of, what is so wonderful in all of us, because the imagination is actually the language of your higher self. So pay attention to your daydreams and to what might come during these sessions. And it might be valuable also to talk, Allison, about the different ways people can perceive knowledge, even in a group regression, because not everybody's going to see a movie behind their eyelids, are they?
Right. We were just discussing that. I have never really been gifted with visuals that you see right out in front of you. I've never really been gifted in that way until, most recently, I've started to see things and have those experiences. But before, when I was a client, or when I would do my own regressions on my own, I would get images back in the back of my head. And so that cued me into the fact that everybody sees things differently. So if you don't see things right in front of you, that doesn't matter. You might see them in your third eye. You might see them in your mind's eye back in here. You might have a knowing. Also, you might have a feeling. So empaths, people who are highly empathic, will just get a feeling for the information. They'll get a feeling for where they're at. And so you will get impressions, you might get visuals, you might get knowings for where you're at and what you're going through. Please don't discount any of that. It's all truly important. My not being able to see out in front of me never stopped me from having an incredible hypnosis session. And so how the information would come to me, it was the hypnotist would ask me questions, or even if I was listening to a kind of a guided hypnosis session from a recorded one, the hypnotist is asking me questions. Well, what do you see right now? What are you experiencing? And all of a sudden I would know that, I was seeing like a river of sand, if you will, or a jungle. And I was, they would ask, what body do you have? Are you in a human body or a different body? And all of a sudden I would know, oh my God, I'm in a male body, these big old hairy legs, and I have a broad chest, and I'm a dude. I didn't know that beforehand. It wasn't until they asked me the question, and then the knowing came in. So please don't discount the unique way that you see. You don't have to see in front like this. You don't have to. But if you do, congrats. That's amazing. But if you don't, congrats. That's also cool.
Excellent. That's great, great information. Also, I wanted to mention that so many of you actually sent in your own questions to both Allison and myself before the event today. And so we're not asking anyone's personal question or gathering questions to ask in that way. It doesn't work that way. It works a little differently. Allison?
Yeah, this is a very general, we have to keep it very general to suit everyone, because everyone's going to drop into a different life. They're all going to have different experiences. So when we're asking, we're going to ask you general questions about what you're experiencing. Doesn't mean you're going to be talking to us. That information is going to arise in you as we ask the questions. Now, so we don't go further into the past life or through the past life to the higher self to start asking your personal questions. That's what takes place in a QHHT session. That is one-on-one, and we need you to answer those questions through your mouth. So you can see how that wouldn't really work in this type of forum if like 500 people were all answering their own questions. But so that's kind of why we can't do that in a group setting. So just so you know.
Yeah, actually, I see something in the chat, and a lot of people have said this. It's like, but Candace, it says if you have any questions, send them to Candace. Let me tell you, that is a Zoom form letter, and it is for anybody who does any webinar on Zoom. It's send your questions to blank at blank about this webinar. And so a lot of people took that to heart, meaning send the regression questions in, and I can see how that might have happened, but no, that's not how it works. And at the same time, if you go into this group regression with an intention, you just might have an answer or some information become available to you during your explorations.
Absolutely. Even in my own mini meditations or long meditations that I do, or hypnosis, I generally bring one question in that I'm hoping to get an answer for. And that answer may appear, it may not. I wouldn't bring more than one, because if you get an answer and you ask another question, oftentimes what happens, since it's not recorded, you'll forget all the details from the first answer while you're moving on to the second answer. And so, yeah, bring a question with you, into your own mind. This is not the forum where we can ask it and then have it recorded, but you guys know that by now. So I highly recommend each of you wear headphones if you possibly can. If you need to take a moment and go grab your earbuds or anything, please do get those on if you have them. It's not a deal breaker if you don't, but it can be very helpful. My voice drops pretty low when I'm doing these, when I'm doing hypnosis. I was talking to Candace about that. I've been doing this hypnosis now for 3 years, and my voice is not the same as it used to be, meaning I can't raise it during everyday conversations now. It just keeps dropping to lower and lower voices. And so my voice gets pretty low when I'm doing these. So you'll want those headphones if you can get them.
It makes me think about your family situation. Your daughter probably likes that pretty well. You can't get your voice raised to her.
No, yeah. I don't yell.
Oh goodness. And you also might out there, you can do this sitting up, you can do this laying down, probably best in a recliner. If you're driving, please don't do this. Right. Please don't close your eyes or do any of this. If you are driving a car, just kind of, switch the channels, press pause, come back to this later. Don't do this in the car, even if you think you can. Not really a great idea. Allison has such a beautiful voice. And I'm rather keen on what's going to happen in the induction myself. And it just might take you somewhere that's unexpected. And actually talk about that too, Allison, about the induction here. This is not a Dolores Cannon material. As a matter of fact, this is Beyond Quantum Healing fodder mixed in with some Allison Coe, right? Talk about the induction that you're going to be using today.
So this induction was written by Candace, actually, and it's a beautiful induction for a group regression. And I actually was reading through it last week, and I was like, man, this is a very poetic and beautifully written induction. And so we're just gonna drop down into the past, into whatever life they show you. And then I have a little surprise for you. I'm going to keep it as a surprise, but we're going to go forward a little bit in time and space, and so that'll be fun as well. And then we'll come back, and you guys will wake up, and it'll all be merry and shiny and fun.
I'm very excited about that.
But a beautiful script. This is not a Dolores Cannon script. Yeah.
Yes, even though we're celebrating Dolores's birthday today, this is not anything that she personally wrote, but actually on the original Quantum Healing Support Forum, we're getting together and being more creative in this way. And I'm actually launching the BQH, Beyond Quantum Healing course, in the next coming weeks. We've closed the doors to our beta class. It had lots and lots of interest, lots of people signing up, and we're getting it put on a professional teaching platform. Actually, if any of you all know out there, a platform called Ruzuku. So it's going to be actually something available online, and it's going to be quite affordable. And we are going to teach quantum healing online, and in ways that you can do this through an interface like this, through Zoom. You can even take clients like this eventually. And part of the Beyond Quantum Healing is to write your own scripts, which I think is kind of nice and fun, and puts some of your own personality into the mix. You don't always have somebody else. You don't always need to have somebody else put words in your mouth. You can use some of your own words, and you can mix it up a little bit. And Allison's done that here. So I'm really excited to hear the induction. Do you think we've covered everything, or?
I just want to recommend a couple things to everybody. When you're doing one of these, if you haven't already done them, it does help to be comfy and cozy. Get a blanket. I have a blanket here. I'm always getting as cozy as possible when I'm on my end of it, but on your end, you want to get relaxed. Candace already mentioned, possibly doing this on a couch or in a bed or a recliner. Get a blankie, get your earbuds in, turn down the light if you can, or even cover up your eyes if you can. That's also helpful. Getting as much sensory deprivation as possible. So, an eye mask can be helpful. All of those things are wonderful. So I highly recommend that. I do want to mention really quick that doing these simple past life regressions changed my life. Absolutely changed my life, because what you find is that you're going to be shown a past life that can help you. It can help you in some way. The knowledge from that can help you moving forward. So for example, I was born extremely shy. It was actually a disability of mine. As disabling as having a foot chopped off. It was terrible. I couldn't even leave the house. I couldn't leave my own house. I couldn't walk down the street by myself. If I was doing that, I had to give myself a couple hours of internal monologue going, ramping myself up to be able to leave my own home. And this is years ago, but it was absolutely debilitating. And I didn't know what it was from, because I had a very healthy, fun, family life. So it wasn't a trauma or anything that I experienced in this life. So I decided to do a past life regression. I think it was just a Brian Weiss one. And I was cozied up on my couch upstairs, and it was very casual, as these are. And I went to a past life, and I saw that I was this beautiful, beautiful, very tan, very beautiful brown-haired woman from it looked like ancient Greece, and I remember all of the colors, and I was in this beautiful marketplace, and it was so lively and great. And I remember the feeling. I was so happy and full of life and carefree. But someone saw me in that marketplace, and he was a soldier. He was kind of a lower vibration person, and he wanted he wanted what I had, basically. I was shining very brightly. He wanted what I had. And this all happened within about 6 minutes of this past life regression. And he wanted what I had, and he ended up kidnapping me, raping and murdering me. And from just experiencing that, the next time I was walking around, I never had anxiety anymore about walking along my own. Because guess what? It didn't belong in this life. It belonged in the past. And re-experiencing that allowed me to leave it in the past, because it was like, it clicked for me. Oh, this doesn't belong here. This is from some other time, some other place. And so that's how life-changing these can be. The clarity that it brings can be so therapeutic and so applicable to what you're facing right now. So just so you know, these may be very simple, these may be very general, but they can be absolutely life-changing. They're game changers. So as far as I'm concerned, sometimes the most beneficial stuff comes from just these little regressions. So I'm glad you're all here, and I'm ready to start whenever you guys are.
I have a similar kind of story. My first group regression as well. I went to, and I thought I was just making it up. I thought it was just complete fabrication. And I went to a past life where I was in a room with an older man, a younger boy, and it was an opulent room, but it was dark. We had plenty of food. And I remember feeding the boy child, and I remember the man was eating, but neither one of them were talking to me. And I know that there were people walking around outside, and I was, as opposition to your feeling, I was absolutely miserable. I was absolutely miserable. And I remember my thoughts. I was kind of feeding this boy child, and I was thinking that he had no idea the freedom that was going to be available to him as a male. And I, as his mother, would never have as much freedom as this like 3-year-old boy would have, even though he had no idea what it was. And this older man, who was probably like my father, he didn't care. And all I wanted to do was travel and study and experience the world, but I wasn't allowed to because I was female. And I had to stay in that home. And I was internally giving myself a speech about how I should feel lucky. I had all this food there, while I know people just steps away outside the house did not have enough food. And if they even knew that food was in this house, we would be in danger because they'd come in. And it was absolutely applicable to my life as well, because I had small children at the time, and I felt trapped. In the early 1990s, I felt trapped. There was no internet. There was no anything. I was, I was a mother, and that was it. And I felt completely trapped. But of course, my regression, just in a group like this, also informed me, which was, it's a different time. My time with these young babies is limited. And when that's over, I will regain my freedom and ability to walk the world, travel, and do whatever I want. So it also changed my life. It made me a happier, younger mother. So that's 2 regression stories from me and Allison before we even get started. And how about we just go ahead and get started? I'm going to put myself on mute, and we're just going to get going. So everybody, make yourselves comfortable. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, I'll give you a couple seconds, a couple quick, short moments to get cozy. Close your eyes. And I'm going to begin. As we gather now in this safe and sacred space, I invite you to take a deep breath. Another. Another. So as we begin this journey, remember, my voice will go with you everywhere you go. You will clearly hear me and understand me. And if any time you wish to return to your everyday conscious awareness, it will be so easy You will simply decide when you wish to return to this room and this place by opening your eyes. It is that easy. So I invite you now to close your eyes and go within your beingness. Perhaps you might wish to set an intention for the journey we're about to share together. You might set the intention for yourself, a loved one, perhaps humans on Earth in areas of war or devastation, or maybe your intention may be for Mother Earth. Whatever feels right for you in this moment. Now, you may or may not have experienced journeys such as this one before in your life. Or maybe you have, and maybe many with a group. But today, you are sharing a brand new energetic space with this unique group of loving beings. Here and now, in this beautiful world of light and love. And so your journey today will be unlike any you have had in the past. Now, if you wish, you may place your right hand upon your heart and your left hand right below it, and begin to breathe. Become aware of how your body follows the rhythm of your breathing. In and out, up and down, allowing you to flow deeper and deeper inside of your beingness. You might even imagine that you're breathing through your very heart, in through your heart, and out through your heart. In through your heart, and out through your heart. Now, you may place your hands anywhere that they will be comfortable. And let us imagine that there exists a beautiful golden cord that goes from your heart deep into the planet. This cord passes through the floor and the ground and all the layers of the earth, all the way to the very center of our world, where it anchors itself to the heart of the planet. You are now in pure contact with your heart and its wisdom and the earth. You are grounded and stable and strong. When you are in pure contact with your heart and its life force energy, you are also in pure contact with your divine knowingness. inner wisdom, and original source energy. When you are connected in this way, you are connected only to the highest and most pure and benevolent beings. This is your protection and also your deepest source of knowingness and wisdom. And with each breath, this truth vibrates deeper within your body, within your bones, in your blood, and your cells. And at the same time, this connection expands your conscious awareness. And as your awareness expands, you find it easy to just let go of all expectations about what might be in store for your journey. You find it easy to release the idea of anything at all needing to be in any certain way. And you find that this is a very nice feeling indeed. And so it is time to begin our journey. Not far from here is the most beautiful beach in the world. Imagine it now. Create this beach. Sand so white and fluffy soft that they cradle your feet as you find yourself now there and walking slowly towards the shore. There at the water's edge, you encounter the gentle and calm waves of a beautiful and clear water sea. The waves, the waves, the waves moving in slowly, slowly, slowly. And the glassy, shallow water with glints and sparkles dancing upon it. First colorless as it laps at your feet, then becomes light and blue, then farther away, aquamarine and serene, and further still, it turns cool and deep and blue, blue, blue. And as you watch the gentle sea rocking and moving ever so slowly, you look to the horizon and notice the blue turns even deeper blue. The blue turns dark and velvety. And at the farthest point of your vision, where the water meets the sky, the depths of the ocean turn purple and rich and so very quiet. And then you might begin to have an awareness of the sun above. pulsing warm waves of its shimmering rays. And you might think to look up into the sky, the blue, blue sky, so high above, with only a few friendly white clouds here and there. Clouds so white and filled with dreams. They float above your head like endless possibilities, endless opportunities, endless. And maybe you'll begin to see something familiar appear from behind one of the clouds. And as this presence gently and with great ease slowly comes towards you, your heart smiles in recognition and comfort and ease. And the closer it gets, you see and know now that this object belongs to you. It's your own personal traveling ship. You're so very familiar with it as you travel with it often, most often in so many of your nighttime dreams. This ship, your own very creation, is so easy to connect with as it reads your thoughts and obeys your commands. Just like your hands move with your mind, so does your traveling magical vessel. You're connected then, and always have been. And so you might invite your ship to come and land on the soft, soft sand, just a little ways from where you stand. When it lands inside your mind, you smile. This vessel, a sight so familiar, so familiar, so welcoming, so beckoning. You've traveled together for no one knows how long. So long, so long, so long. The beginning of that time has turned in upon itself and is no longer a memory at all. Admiring the shape, the texture, the presence of your friend, the magical traveling vessel. You make your way to the ship and remind yourself of all of its familiar details, remembering every small part of your perfect creation and all of the wonderful places it has carried you to experience. Imagine now stepping into and settling into your vessel. And as you settle in comfort and ease, there is an awareness now as you meld with your ship of the calling of the sun and a calling of the stars. And they call to remind you that you can visit worlds and places and times that exist even beyond their pulsing lights. And you might decide that yes, you wish to travel now to one of those places, the most appropriate place for this moment and place, the most perfect time for this time, the most aligning for your current alignment. And so you and your craft begin to move. So easy, so effortlessly, almost like a single being. As you head high into the sky and wink as the sun goes by, and the sky grows deep and rich and purple as the sea below. But the sparkles here are not from glints in the water, but from the stars. And high above this place is the portal your soul always seeks, the one created for you and by you and for you, that will take you to the most appropriate time and place and space and at the pace that is perfect for you now. Moving through the kaleidoscope of colors and shapes and sounds. You and your ship are on your way now, purposefully yet gently, swiftly and with ease. And as you move and watch, and as you pass by red stars and blue, who nod their heads like old friends, as you continue through the nebulae and galaxies and time and space, and you feel a push and pull from far away, so familiar, so familiar, so welcoming, so beckoning. And in a breathless moment that lasts no time at all, you are there, and the movement stops, and the traveling is complete, and you gather your bearings and take a breath. The time and place and space that calls to you at this moment is now here before you. And so you exit your ship in a way that seems right and begin to explore the wide perspective first. What is this place? What kind of space? And the details pour in. The colors, the sights, the knowledge of where you are. Taking it all in. Looking around as a point on a circle moves to complete one rotation. You register and acknowledge exactly where you are. Are you inside or outside? On solid ground or no? Whether seeing things familiar or unfamiliar, you take it all in. Now, sensing yourself as it enters and melds and melts where you are. You feel and know and record now all the details of this. Who are you in this place? Do you have a face, a body? It is easy to trace the outlines and shapes of your presence and self in this place. Remembering also that just in case you see no face, that it may be you have no outlines at all. How do you appear within your environment now? How do you interact with it? The senses come alive. Taking in the sounds, the sights, the smells of all that is around you. And considering now the story that is here, that presents itself in front of you. By you and for you and with you. And then you take it all in as the explorer you are, with calmness and wisdom and faith. You know why you are here. Take all of it in. The who's, the why's, the what's, and the when's. It all becomes so clear to you now. This existence, what else do you need to see here and now? Whatever life is being shown is important. Pay attention to all of the knowingness pouring in now. And we move through the life with grace and ease, leaving that day behind and moving toward and forward an important day. A different day in the life that we're watching. Where further details are revealed to you. Where are you at now? What's being revealed to you at this moment? Who are you with on this unique day? This unique time and place? Take it all in. Every detail is important. And a knowingness, once again, pours in to your conscious awareness. A knowingness about why this day is being shown to you. And we move forward one more time in the life that we're watching. Moving forward to the very last day in this existence. The very last day. This allows for you to look back at the life you've just experienced and had a glimpse of. Knowing now what soul growth this unique experience brought to you. Becoming aware of how this life might have fed forward to the next, and the next, and the next. Taking all of it in. And after some time, no one knows for how long, when time has moved and morphed into timeless time, the gift of this journey here is presented to you in the clearest, most beautiful way. Understanding it now, accepting this place with strength, that is grace itself defined and felt and experienced. And should you ever feel or find or believe a need to return, you can do so with ease. And so now that our journey to the past has been completed, we once again return to our ship. And that is done with a single easy thought that it should be so. And so. And so. There you are again on your personal craft. But our unique journey is not yet complete. Just as we journeyed so easily, so gently into the past, we can also travel now with ease and grace and speed to a future day in our present life. A day in our current life that hasn't happened yet. Arriving now at a day that you have often wondered about. Details of this day appear swiftly, flooding in. it becomes clear to you what type of day this is, who is with you, and the emotions of this particular time flood in. It's easy for you to know where you are. Your surroundings give you so much information. Soak it all in. What do you feel? What do you see? What were you just doing? Something important, very important, is happening on this day. Gather as many details as possible. What does this future version of you wish to tell you? Take this opportunity now to ask that question. And your conscious mind will never forget the details imparted to you at this time, on this day. And now take a moment, as you may wish to thank this version of yourself for all that they have given you. And we leave them now with love and gratitude as we return to our craft once again. Once again, with only a thought, we are aboard, and our journey is close to completion. Returning back to the physical realm now. And before you know it, you pass again by the nebulae and the galaxies and the stars who are friends, who nod with a smile in knowing something of your journey by the color of the trail of light you leave behind as you drift back down to the planet and the soft, sandy white beach. And before you open your eyes, you take note of the expansion of your heart and the increased depth of your wisdom and knowing. And you send gratitude to all who participated, your guides, your galactic family, your ancestors, you from the future, who exists as an ascended master and original source energy itself. And all of you who are spread around the world. Who have joined their hearts and minds today to create a grid of love just by showing up. Thank you. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. And welcome back. And we're back. Thank you everyone for participating. I can't wait to hear, and it's not going to be in chat, but I cannot wait to hear about your experiences. And don't be shy if you didn't have an experience, that's okay. You can tell us all about it. But if you did, even cooler.
Allison, that was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Candace, for your beautiful poetic script. Wasn't that amazing, you guys? That script that Candace took us on, that journey that she took us on was just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. I kept smiling as I was saying the words because they were just, some words are just so stunning, you know, to when they're all formed together, it just makes this beautiful poetic presence.
Well, your voice is mesmerizing, and that was so wonderful for me. I haven't been that deep in a while. I know I left my screen on so you could watch me. Was I drooling?
I think we all were, right? Drooling or crying or drooling or crying.
I'm going to be sending this video over to Allison. She'll put it on her YouTube channel, and that's a place to share some stories. It's also going to go around Facebook through the Quantum Healing and Beyond Facebook page. You can also leave some experiences on the Facebook at Quantum Healing and Beyond Facebook page. Sorry, my brain's not quite, I'm not quite back yet.
I just have to say it's normal to be pretty out of it after something like this. Yes, this was very light in general, but it is normal, and you can see it in Candace. It's just a little bit iffy, a little bit ungrounded. So make sure to eat, you guys. That's the quickest way to ground yourself after something like this. And yes, Candace is right. We're going to post this. As soon as Candace sends it to me, I'll upload it onto my YouTube. That'll probably happen by this afternoon, hopefully. Things like this do take a while, but at that point, when this is uploaded, could you guys please, if you remember to, let me know your experiences. I'd love to read them. And I'm sure Candace would too, because this is fun. It's fun to be on this side of it, but it's also weird because I don't know what went on for you guys. So I want to hear about it. And I probably won't be commenting myself, but I'm going to be reading. You best believe that.
Thank you so much. This was brilliant. It was amazing. I went very deep. You are so gifted, Allison Coe. I know that I probably speak for hundreds, if not thousands of people out there. I'm just thrilled that I got to have a session by you, even in this way. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That was a handshake, right? Your script, my voice.
Right. What a collaboration.
And the hundreds of you who participated, you know, we couldn't do this without you.
Yeah, the connection of energy for sure is a part of this deal and why these things are so much fun. All right, well, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I have a family I got to get back to. They all have fevers right now. They're all sick, so I'm gonna go up and
You
go
stay
hang
well.
out with them. Yeah.
You
All right,
stay
everybody.
Thank
Much
you, everybody.
much love to all of you, and we'll post this later today. And I can't wait to hear about your experiences. All right, love you guys, and thank you so much, Candace, for making this possible.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Allison. And remember, we've got more events coming up. Pamela Erlin's quantum alchemy regression event is coming up in just a couple of hours. I look up and it's 1:11. Of course it is.
Oh,
So,
wonderful.
but at 3:00 my time, that's Central Time, we'll be doing this again, another version with another quantum healer, this time Pamela Erlin, and there's plenty of room there. Y'all can still sign up there or watch this Facebook page for the next one coming up, and there are quantum healers all over the world doing this. You can check us out at quantumhealingpractitioners.com, and remember that we are now teaching beyond quantum healing, so you too can learn how to be a quantum healer. Thanks again, Allison. Have a great day. Give your family some popsicles and my very best, and tell them to hang in there. They're burning up the stuff that's no longer needed in their lives, and there'll be new versions of themselves very soon. Thanks, Allison.
Thank you, Candace. All right, take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.